So apparently, Game of Thrones Season 8 and The Winds of Winter had just had sort of an unofficial release date. The Season 8 release date was sort of confirmed by Sophie Turner, but a lot of us already knew that it was going to be airing sometime around then. And then the release date for Winds of Winter was just updated on the wiki page. Let's discuss all that, plus more. And remember, slap a like on this video and take all of this information with a grain of salt because, like I said, it's been unofficially confirmed. I am in fact having a major holiday giveaway on this channel. There will be 5 separate winners, and some of the top prizes include a Game of Thrones Monopoly set, House Targaryen and House Stark banner, and Ghost Funko Pop figure. Like I said, there will be 5 separate winners, so make sure you follow that gleam.io link address down below in the description. Go to that site and follow all those instructions to make sure you're entered to win one of these 5 prizes. Let's talk about the book news first, because true book fans have been waiting around for a new copy or new material to George's novels since about 2011. Now, yes, he does in fact release sample chapters, and I do have a video coming up on some of those where I'll discuss them, but just imagine that pain. Like, we had to wait less than a year to find out whether Jon Snow lived. Most of us were keeping up with the spoilers, so we knew he lived, but these book aficionados have been waiting in the wings, so to speak, for 6 years, and it could be 7 or 8 until we get another one, because according to this wiki page, Winds of Winter will not be coming out until July 2019, which kind of wraps up with the Season 8 premiere date / finale. More so around the end of that, because according to Sophie Turner, we're going to be getting Game of Thrones Season 8 in around early winter of 2019. But we'll discuss that more in a bit. Just listen to the last paragraph that the book fans have been left with. The carcass was too heavy for him to bear back to his lair, so Drogon consumed his kill there, tearing at the charred flesh as the grass burned around them, the air thick with drifting smoke and the smell of burnt horsehair. Dany starved, slid off his back, and ate with him, ripping chunks of smoky meat from the dead horse with bare, burned hands. In Meereen, I was a queen in silk, nibbling on stuffed dates and honeyed lamb, she remembered. What would my noble husband think if he could see me now? Hisdar would be horrified, no doubt, but Dario would laugh, carve off a hunk of horse meat with his arak, and squat down to eat beside her. As the western sky turned the color of blood bruise, she heard the sound of approaching horses. Dany rose, wiped her hands and her ragged undertunic, and went to stand beside her dragon. That was now Khal Drogo found her, when 100 mounted warriors emerged from drifting smoke. Oh man, every time I read a passage from the books out loud for one of these videos, it just gives me chills. So I'm going to take the time to stop this whole video and say, hey, check out the link down below. Go to Amazon and buy these books. If you want entertainment, guaranteed reliable entertainment throughout this Game of Thrones season, off season rather, we dubbed it the long night here on my channel, but throughout this long night, if you want to keep yourself reliably entertained, go and grab the books. They're only like 35 bucks, and you get literally 50 some odd hours of Game of Thrones time, like time that if you've never read the books, everything's new to you. So when you're reading stuff, it's just amazing how detailed this is. So go click on that link and go and buy a copy of these 5 novels from George R.R. Martin. So basically that scene that I read, that was the end of Season 5, where we pick up with, Daenerys is basically being surrounded by all those Dothraki, minus the fact that she had jumped down there and eaten a whole bunch of horse meat. But that's just one of those things the TV show chose to leave out. And the TV show does an amazing job adapting George R.R. Martin's work, but you can never experience those things unless you read them firsthand from the novels. So please, go and pick up a copy of the A Song of Ice and Fire novels. Put it on your Christmas list. Who knows? Maybe Santa will even show up and drop it down your chimney. Okay, so as far as the release date, anyone can edit a Wikipedia page, but the Winds of Winter release date was announced as July of 2019 on the wiki page, and like I said, anyone can edit those, but that sounds about right, because I honestly think that George R. R. Martin has finished Winds of Winter for the most part, and he's kind of waiting for the show to end before he releases that. It gives him the chance to, 1, go back and correct stuff that the show made major mistakes on, and he saw that whiplash and that feedback from the fans. It gives him the chance to correct that in the novels. Perfect example is Stannis is still alive in the books, and in the TV show he's dead, so now George R. R. Martin has the benefit of seeing what an outcome would look like in the minds of his fans for killing off a certain character. Not that that bothers George at all. Like, people who just read the novels and stay away from the show, as far as they know in their mind, Jon Snow is still dead and may never come back. And that may be the case. Can you imagine if Jon stays dead in the books, but he's alive in the TV show? Everyone who's always talking smack about the TV show, you know, at least if that were the case, Jon Snow would still be alive. And I'm not saying that Jon's not going to come back in the books. He most likely is. The way that he comes back in the books will likely be different. I can see him warging into Ghost, and then once his body is brought back, that sends his soul from Ghost back to his body. Like, a lot of people think he warged into Ghost because some of Jon Snow's last words in A Dance with Dragons, after he gets stabbed in the stomach by his brothers, his Night's Watch brothers, his last words are Ghost. So people think that that means he's calling out to Ghost because he's basically transferring, he's warging into Ghost. As far as that release date, that is not concrete. Like I said, anyone can edit a wiki page, but there was no information that I could really find about it. It seems like someone had just updated that, I guess, when no one was really paying attention. So take that information with a grain of salt, but don't worry, Winds of Winter will in fact be out. I'm 99% sure shortly after Season 8 ends or shortly before it premieres. Okay, so now on to the release date for Season 8 news. Now, I saved this for last because it's kind of disheartening, but basically, I was brought this information via Watchers on the Wall, but this is basically an interview with Sophie Turner in Variety magazine. And in the description, you can find a link where you can go straight to that article directly and read it for yourself. But basically, there were two questions that Sophie was asked that I wanted to focus on. The first one was, where are you in production in Season 8? And then Sophie's response was, we started in October, so we're maybe like a tenth of the way through. She laughs and then goes, no. We've got 6 or 7 months left, which sounds about right. We do know that Game of Thrones filming season, at least for this one, could take almost a year. And then they've got to do everything post-production. So they've got to go in and add the CG and all that stuff. But anyway, let's just continue on. The second question was, are you excited next year for X-Men Dark Phoenix and Season 8 of Game of Thrones set to premiere? She goes, yeah, I'm really excited. And then corrects the interviewer by saying Game of Thrones comes out in 2019. Dark Phoenix is in November, and she's got some indie films, and she's a producer, you know, to kind of keep her busy until then. So, if that's the case, that this redheaded devil woman has just told us that we have 6 or 7 months until they even finish filming, oh my gosh. That means that we're going to be doing videos up until well into next year on the filming schedule for Game of Thrones Season 8. I've never done filming videos for that long. I've never done, like, the filming leaks and the spoiler, like, off production, like, basically off season. I've never done videos for that long. But, you know, that kind of reminds me, I am coming up on the 2-year mark of my channel. Been officially on YouTube for 2 years, and in those 2 years, we've done some amazing things. But, oh my gosh, Sophie, 6 or 7 more months? That means that, you know, with post-production, they won't be finished somewhat, and I'm doing air quotations, but you can't see that. They might not be finished with Game of Thrones just in general until 2019, let alone setting up, you know, putting in those final touches, you know, filming in those reshoots for certain scenes. Like, who knows? It may not even be early winter of, you know, 2019, like Sophie had said. It may be July, like summertime, when we get in 2019. We do know that this Season 7 did not premiere until damn near August, so who's to say that this next season won't premiere until then? That's almost two years away from when Season 7 premiered. But all I will say is that I hope they get it right. I'm positive they will get it right. They basically just use all of this extra time to get everything correct. Like, there should be no skipping out on battle scenes. There should be no major plot holes. There should be no insanely confusing plot lines like Winterfell for Season 7. Like, there shouldn't be any of that. It should be perfect. And even if it isn't, at that point, after waiting 2 years, I'll just be happy with whatever they give me. You guys let me know down below if you're excited and if you think that the Winds of Winter release date holds any water. And also, let me know about your thoughts on what Sophie Turner has just said. Are you okay with waiting another year and a half to get Game of Thrones Season 8? And also, I know I'm asking you to write a lot of things down in the comment section, but let me know if you're going to go and grab those books. And if you do, let me know if you want me to do, like, read-along videos. I will be releasing entire chapter reads onto my Patreon. You can't upload them to YouTube. The last time I did that, I got a strike on my channel, so I will not be uploading those chapter reads here to YouTube, but they will in fact be on my Patreon, which it only costs $1 to join. So go check that out. Make sure you enter that contest. There will be 5 winners. Go and click that link down below in the description. Make sure you subscribe to me here on YouTube. Slap a like on this video. Leave a comment down below. And then turn your notifications on so that way you get alerted every single time I drop Game of Thrones content throughout this super long off season. Super special shout out to Terry and Mario. They are in fact the executive producers of these videos, and without them they would not be possible. Also, super special shout out to every single one of my Patreons over on patreon.com. If anyone watching would like to become a sponsor for this channel, you can actually check the link down below in the description, and that'll take you straight to my Patreon page. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and don't forget, different ways to enter the contest equal different points. So let's say if you were subscribed to me here on YouTube and then you follow me on Twitter, those are different points for doing each one of those things. So they add up to the total number of entries that you have. I suggest follow all those instructions for the most chance to win a prize. This has been Sir Hunt's Reviews.